take projection.
Welcome everybody to Taking on Sports. I am TD. That is Greg. Greg, how did that cigar taste last night?
Man. Beautiful, wonderful. Man, it was just, man, I think that beating Tennessee might be my favorite thing in the college football season.
It's
I
definitely
don't know.
mine.
It's just
No.
something about it, just so much hatred there, and
hmm
But I will say, it just, man, it felt weird losing 2 out of 3 to them. Oh man,
hmm
we can't lose back to back. We can't. No way. Especially since that trash 5 overtime game in '03 since we lost them in Tuscaloosa. It wasn't gonna be
Man.
a no way. I
I,
still
I,
I still think about that game all the time.
I was yelling at Sean McDonough last night when he brought it up. Said the last time Tennessee won, I was like, "Shut up, Sean." Was
Shut up, Sean.
2003. I'm like, "Shut up, Sean."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
my mom was in town, and we were sitting there watching her and my wife, and my mom asked, like, "Why are you telling the man to shut up?" I'm like, "Because I was at that game and we lost in 5 overtimes, and it was painful. We had every
Man,
fourth and 19. If you say that to anybody who's a student when we were a student, we know exactly what it meant.
19, Jesus.
4th and 19, had a chance to win that game, but that was many years ago.
Many moons ago. Absolutely.
And in
Wow.
2025,
Man,
Alabama got on that ass.
got after it.
I tell you
Most
what, we've been
impressive.
asking. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said most impressive. Yeah, we held a high-powered offense to 20 points and made them. Even though we gave up some cheap yards at the end, man, we made them look pretty pedestrian out of that game. I will say that.
Yeah, there was the usual big run that we give up. It seems like we give up at least one big run a game,
That just
which
seemed
was
like something to happen.
ter-
But
terrible pursuit angles on that run. By the way, just like, man, he made some
yeah,
simple,
Deontay
easy
Lawson
cuts, and
has. Yeah,
yeah,
Deontay
it
has.
was rough. But I was gonna say, we've been asking for weeks that the team starts hot instead of getting down early, getting in a hole, and that's exactly what they did. Tennessee quick first drive, the defense held them, and then we drove 91 yards for a touchdown to take the lead, and that really set the tone for the game.
Absolutely.
Got out on the front foot, probably even missed an opportunity here or there to really put the game away earlier than it was, but got up, got the defense again, responded after Tennessee tied it up. Defense responded, got the safety. Man,
That was
Pierre is a beast. He's a
man.
dog.
He's gonna turn it. He's our next star on the defensive side of the ball for sure.
He's exactly what we needed on that side of the ball, on that line.
Just a
It,
soft.
it, yeah, just software. It's no surprise that he is related to Courtney Upshaw, because he plays with that same mentality. He
Absolutely.
just, hateful, just wants to kill, just out there to hurt people, and
You
in
don't
the
see that
best
as
way.
much. You don't see that
Mm-mm.
much in 2025.
No, you don't. He's got an
Old
anger
school.
to the way he plays, yeah. And it was so we got the safety, got a touchdown off of that, up 16-7. And then, Vols were driving, and would have been a huge touchdown for them
Oh,
going into half
would have
when
been huge.
we would get the ball to start the second half, so it was really imperative for them to get
Well, he's
points
holding
on the
to a
board
field
there.
goal. And I was like, man,
And
if we could just hold to a field goal, that'd be great.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, man, let's get a stop here. And then, like, briefly in my head, I didn't say it out loud, but in my head I was thinking, man, it'd be nice if we had like a Trayvon Diggs play right here. And sure enough,
Man,
Mr. Brown steps in front. Sabian Brown steps in front of a pass, takes it 99 yards. And the biggest thing, man, first of all, I scared my dog. I scared my wife. She was like in the kitchen and happened to walk back in the living room when that happened. I jumped off the couch yelling. And then the whole time I'm yelling, don't get caught. Don't get caught.
I thought he was gonna
Uh,
get caught. He stumbled
man,
there at like the 20. I was like, oh
he
no.
did. Ooh, he did. He had that nice little hesitation though, man. That was a very good move to
Yeah,
just
caught him.
slow down the Tennessee player just enough to because that Tennessee player was booking and he had the angle and but a great move, great way to avoid the tackle and an absolutely huge touchdown. I don't know if you've
Absolutely.
seen the videos coming out today on social media, but there was someone who was filming for whatever reason and they were like 3 miles away from the stadium and they could hear the roar of the crowd on that interception.
No, I haven't seen that. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's like
I
they're
know that
gonna.
was. I know that. I know it was so loud in there at that point.
Oh man, I cannot. Yeah,
Oh,
I think maybe overthrew him, had him wide open there, Michael Penix. I think the closest we could come to like a singular moment being so loud was maybe that Charlie Pepper interception
oh, against
freshman year
Georgia.
against Georgia. Yeah, or maybe. Were you there for the first Saban LSU game when Javi took that punt back?
No, I went. No seven. No, I
Yeah,
just.
so yeah, yeah.
No, I
I
just
I
left.
I just come back into town after a year away, and I went to that game, and that was pretty loud too. That
Oh,
it
yeah.
was that was like a slow build one though, like when you get the
Right.
interception, it's that immediate pop.
Right.
When Javi hit that little like back step and then split the defenders up the middle, you kind of like the crowd kind of realized like it was one of those like oh like
He's gone.
but yeah, he was like, oh, but last night, yeah, absolutely huge play, absolutely turned the tide of the game. Like we said, it would have been a 2 point game had they scored the touchdown there going into halftime. Instead, Alabama's up 23-7 and gets the ball to start. Unfortunately, they didn't get a touchdown or a score to start the second half, which a little something to be said about Ryan Grubb's second half play call when we have a lead, particularly if it's more than a one-score lead. He maybe gets a little too conservative. Ooh,
Right.
that was just not a good drive for the Falcons right there.
No. No. Oof.
Yeah.
He's not. He's still. You could still. Still a young quarterback. He has some great things, and then man, some of the stuff happens, and it's
Yeah.
just not.
Yeah. I wonder if he maybe hurt that leg again, that one
Oh,
sack. But no, yeah. So Ryan Grubb, a little. We've talked about it before. Kind of against Vanderbilt. I think I've used that Yarmir Yager quote before. That when you got the guy on their knees, you want to cut the head off and finish it.
oh, yeah.
And but Tennessee gets a score. It's 23 13 because they go for two. We stop it, and then a 99-yard touchdown drive to really put the game away. Just absolutely
Just a beautiful
beautiful
drive.
drive. Yeah. Great play calling from Grubb on that one. And man, Jeremy Bernard, just every week, it seems like he does something that just
He
makes you
is.
realize, like,
He man, that was like the best thing, man. With that came with Kalen DeBoer was, I mean, he's just everything you want in a player.
mm-hmm.
Just the way he plays, just the intensity he brings, the skill set he brings. Like man, he's probably the most underrated dude that's ever come to Bama, and he probably will never get. I mean, he's not the gonna be, he's not the all star receiver, but what he brings is just amazing. He's not.
Yeah, he's a sure-handed guy. He's dependable to make the catch in a big spot. They use him
He's
in
a
the
worker.
gadget plays. He's got great ball carrier vision, man.
Yeah.
That play on that 99-yard drive, we was going for a little wide receiver pass, and it was a throwback to. It was going to be a throwback to Tide. Credit to the Tennessee defenders; they stayed home. They were all over it, and it looked like it was about to be like a 10-yard loss. And he splits the defenders, finds a lane, turns it into a first down, turns a broken play into a
That
first
was
down.
amazing.
And man,
Amazing.
but yeah, over a great game offensively. Everybody, Jam, we got him back. That was huge. Daniel Hill is going to be a star,
Daniel
man.
Hill had some runs. Daniel Hill might be the running back that we've kind of been yearning for a while.
Yeah,
Because what
just a
he
big
shows,
bruiser.
yeah,
Man, I don't know what's up with Richard Young. I don't know if he's hurt. I don't know if he's just not practicing
Dude,
well or if he's not
yeah,
picking up pass protection or whatever.
I don't. He doesn't see the field at all
He
anymore.
does
I
not, and
haven't.
he looked like our next stud running back last
I
year.
thought so. Yeah.
But the emergence of Daniel Hill makes that
Oh my
a
goodness.
lot easier. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
Because
he's a
he
big dude. What 240 something? Runs hard. Got good hands as a receiving back.
he looked really
Kind,
good. I was like, man, he
yeah.
showed. And then another thing I like, he didn't have a lot of yards, but Ryan Williams, he didn't drop any passes. He caught some tough ones. He
He
got
made
blasted.
some damn good catches along that one catch at first and along the sideline, contorting his body, catching it with his hands like that.
Yeah.
He had a low key, didn't get a score, but had close to 100 yards receiving on
Yeah,
the game.
yeah, he had a great outing. Some tough catches there, some big time
Yeah.
catches. And when he, when I don't know what was going on for a while, but whatever, it was definitely on last night. He was on. He was ready to go. Um, but yeah, I mean that was I would say as about as good as you could expect. I expected, man, we're gonna be in a, a damn shootout. I expected like 38, 35 coming down to the last thing. Either we're holding or we're trying to score to win the thing. I didn't think it was going to be that relaxing of a finish. I mean, we had people, smoking it with 5, 6 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, that cloud of smoke lit up early.
Yeah,
Uh,
I didn't think we were going to have that. Man, I thought we were kind of going to have like the Georgia Tennessee game more than anything going into that game.
no, yeah, for sure. That's what I was expecting, and just absolutely great by our defense to,
Absolutely. A little sloppy at
yeah,
the end there on the last drive, but held the
y- yeah, a
didn't let
little
him get.
sloppy. Yeah, you would have liked to see him stop him there again too, but uh, you know, hey, you can understand them taking their foot off the pedal a little bit there. But yeah, the absolutely great defensive effort. That's what a lot of people weren't expecting, and against, like you said, top notch offense there.
I mean
An
that.
offense,
I mean,
Aguilar's been slinging it this year. They can
I
run the ball.
mean,
They did,
you look at the point
run all over us
totals.
still.
Yeah, I mean they did. I mean they put up over 400 yards of offense, but a lot of that did come in garbage time, and we're up a good amount. The game was out of reach there, like that last drive. But man, just the fact, if you look at how many points they've scored, I mean, up to that point, 32 have been their lowest, and we held them 12 points under their lowest. So I mean, I doubt that they have problems scoring above 20 again for the rest of the year. So I mean,
Yeah, no, it's no, yeah, they made sometimes you have to be bend but don't break, and that's what they were.
I mean that's kind of what they've
They
turned
made the
into.
huge plays. Yeah.
That's kind of what they've turned into, and that's fine. If you're making the plays at the right point, sometimes the 20 to the 20, you give up some plays, and that's what the defense does. But when it comes down to the key moments, man, recently they've been on it. I mean, you go back to like the Vanderbilt game, we snatched looked like they're about to score, got the fumble and uh, took it from Pavia, and that changed the momentum of the game. Last night they said they're about to score, get the interception, pick six, took the game away. I mean, for what it's worth, this defense at the right moments is coming up with huge plays.
No, yeah, like I said, we just if we could fix that run defense, particularly between the tackles, man, people are gashing us on the
Oh my
inside there.
gosh.
If we could find a way to fix that, or at least eliminate the real big runs, it's one thing if teams chip away and then we hold them to a field goal or
Right.
no score. It's
Right.
another letting up these 40, 50, big runs like that.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
kills you. But absolutely great effort. Can't complain. Like I said, enjoyed that cigar last night. Uh,
it's beautiful. I
it's
mean,
always, yeah, it feels right. It always feels good to beat Tennessee.
And then not only on that, but I mean that's four ranked wins in a row.
Yeah.
I mean, you
First
gotta
SEC,
just
first SEC team to do that without a bye week in history.
forever. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think, but and the only reason we can't do it again is because South Carolina is just not good this year.
I'm about to say, yeah, it could be even longer, that
Yeah,
that list. But
yeah. Listen,
just absolutely great game, and there's
a
it's kind of a perfect game. You get a win, you cover,
yeah,
and you still have things to improve upon.
yeah. I mean that's what you want to see, but man, just every week they're just the confidence is building. You can see that they're ready to go. I mean, just everything is flipped, and every week it just seems like it's getting better and better. And the thing, we probably even probably haven't even had our best game yet. And that's what's the best part about it.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, but on to South Carolina, a tricky one. Can't slip up next week.
yeah, I mean, it is kind of tricky because you don't want to,
I mean,
you
they
don't
have
want
nothing to lose at this point.
to,
Yeah.
yeah, no, they yeah, they had an ugly game again. There, that was an ugly game in general. That OU South Carolina
Yeah,
game.
yeah, that was
OU
sloppy
couldn't move
and
the ball for real, but man, they came through with the big plays there, and yeah, no, they got the win there. But yeah, that South Carolina team, and that was a team that I wasn't sure if they were going to be good, just because it seems like after a good year and the expectations get there, they don't respond the next season. We saw that a couple years ago after their hot end of the season when they had beat Tennessee and Clemson. And then they had the next year was bad, and last year was great, and almost to the playoff, and then fall off again there. So yeah, they have nothing to lose there. So we just got to come ready to go because sometime when those teams have nothing to lose is when they put it all together. So we just got to make sure we're ready to go. I mean, if we play our game, we'll be fine, but it's just not.
yeah,
Got to stay focused there before the next bye week.
yeah, absolutely, exactly. You got to stay focused and get go 1-0 every week. That's his team's mentality, and get like you said, get to that bye week, then get on with the November.
Hmm. Yeah,
But yeah, great win. Always good to beat Tennessee, put them on the brink of being out of playoff contention,
absolutely.
and just keep climbing up them poles and just keep looking better and better, man.
Can do. Absolutely.
Other big game, well, there's a lot of big games, great schedule this weekend, but the other big game in the SEC, Georgia hosted Ole Miss.
Um,
Man, these offenses were humming in this one.
yeah, well,
These teams did like not score on a possession until like what the fourth quarter, third quarter, something like that.
yeah, that Ole Miss defense with I mean, excuse me, the Ole Miss offense with that first three quarters was amazing, and they got shut down in that fourth
And
quarter.
then then the fourth quarter happened. Georgia entered
Oh my
down by
goodness!
9 and scored 17 and didn't allow a single point in that fourth quarter. It took over and
Wow.
big win for the Dogs because yeah, they were on the brink of a second SEC loss
At
themselves.
home?
At home, yeah, they were about to go from 33 straight home wins to two straight. Or wait, no, have they? Actually, I don't know if they've had a home game since. Probably. Anywho, they were about to get loose twice in the season at home. But great fourth quarter from them. The defense stepped up. Offense made plays when they had to. Big win for Georgia. Tough loss for Ole Miss, but just their first of the year, and losing at Georgia's not
Not
a
a bad.
terrible.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
not a
it's not a
terrible thing,
backbreaker. Yeah.
but at the same time, that's always been Kiffin's mo is he can't quite pull the big one,
Hmm.
and they had opportunities there. But
Yeah.
that was that fourth quarter was the first time this year when you felt like that was a Georgia defense that you expect to see from Georgia. And they were
Yeah, they were
they're
flying to the
comfortable, they were
ball.
nasty, getting everywhere. I mean,
Hmm.
they made Chambliss look like he had never played football that fourth quarter. Why he looked very uncomfortable. They were
Yeah,
getting out
they finally
on him.
made him look like the guy who transferred from Ferris State.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. Yeah,
yeah, they made that offense look you know incompetent, and that's an
um,
extremely good offense. But Yeah, great win for Georgia. Uh, Especially to bounce back after struggling last week against Auburn, but
Mm-hmm.
another big fourth quarter for them, and that's huge. And uh, I think they get a bye before the cocktail party, I believe, and
Yeah,
Ole Miss has to go to Norman next week, so
yeah.
no days
No,
off in this league.
no,
But
I don't.
yeah. Let's see, mother big ranked game. Notre Dame USC met South Bend. Notre Dame 10-point winner. Man, they're looking better and better each week. The defense is finally looking closer to the unit. I think more people expected them. They did a great job shutting down that really good USC offense.
Yeah,
Not a complete shutdown, but like I said,
yeah,
good enough for a 10-point win. And then,
yeah.
man, that running back duo is just so good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
And they
and
keep on. They passed that test, and that was one of the tests. Everybody's like, "Whoop, that's the one they got to pay attention to." Because of course, they have no room for error for their playoffs. But man, at the end of the season, if that's only two losses, and Miami doesn't keep choking things away, uh, they'll won't look it'll look pretty good. They'll have a conversation. They'll have an argument as long as they keep winning
mm-hmm.
games.
No, yeah, yeah. If they win out, you would expect them with those two losses, like you said, to probably get in as I don't know, probably 10 seed somewhere right in that range, I would think. Well, yeah, you mentioned the Hurricanes. Tough loss for them
Right?
Friday night. Louisville, man, do not play Louisville on a weeknight. Uh,
No,
just don't do it. If you are an AD and the league approaches you
no.
about playing
Got
Louisville on
down
a weeknight, you say absolutely not.
for
I don't care
mission. No,
where it is. No,
no.
we will play them on Saturday. Thank you very much.
They turned into what Virginia Tech used to be on Thursdays.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, something about those bright lights, man. The cards.
Cars on the weeknight. Nope. No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because they look good. And the crazy thing is, you know, it, I mean, the crazy thing, despite those four interceptions, I mean, they were right there to at least get to the field goal before that last interception. Miami had plenty of opportunities. Even if they had that fumble, they got the fumble after they had turned the ball over a third time, and man, it was looking really bad. And then they got the ball back, they scored, but man, it was just the Cardinals' night.
Yeah, yeah. What's his face? Isaac Brown, man. He is just absolutely stud running back there. 15 carries for a buck 13.
I can't believe he
Um,
fumbled that right.
yeah,
Goodness.
rare
At that
rare
point, I was
fumble for
thinking, oh,
him.
and then I was like, oh, Miami about to come back and win this thing. And I thought for sure they were cooked in. Came all the way back down, and then another interception for Carson Beck. I was like, oh,
Who really threw five on the night? Remember he had one called back because of a penalty, but
yeah,
yeah, I think I posted on social media. I got, of course, lived in Louisville for a year, and I got a few Miami friends too. And
hmm
I was saying I was conflicted. I felt good for my Louisville friends there. Big win for them. Really loyal program, great fans. They
great.
absolutely love that
Some of the best
university, all
college,
the sports.
yeah, some of the
Yeah,
best
yeah,
college sports fans in general. They're great
actually, yeah,
fans in all,
absolutely, yeah,
all areas.
absolutely, great fans there. Um, and but then I was also, like I said, but at the same time, I felt bad for my Miami friends who were getting the Carson Beck experience
Yeah,
in full right there. All the talent in the world for that guy, but sometimes he just has these games and
yeah. They're like, woof.
he's out. Yeah,
But then in
and
the
you just
same game, he had some great things. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
he had some great throws. They had some great things going. They could have tied it up at the end there, maybe gone to overtime. Who knows what happens at that point? But man, yeah, that's a tough loss. For a team that was kind of looking like definitely the ACC front runner. Now, I mean, they're still right there, of course. I mean, that's only their
yeah,
first loss conference, and the rest of their schedule isn't. I don't think they kind of the back end isn't nearly as bad, but they can't do what they're known for, and that's always going to come up till they show you otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't finish last year. It was that a couple years ago when they couldn't finish. They start off hot. They start off hot a lot, and they after that loss. But how do they respond is the thing now for the Canes.
Yeah, exactly. It's about the response, and not Louisville's a good team, 5-1. You don't want to lose at home. If you're Miami,
No,
you want to make that place a fortress, but it's not devastating. They're the rest of the schedule. They're going to be favored in every game. They should win every game. The biggest test is in a couple weeks, and they play at SMU. And then maybe that Pitt game at Pitt to end the year looks a little trickier than it did to start the season.
absolutely.
But other than that, they host Stanford next week, despite Stanford's win over Florida State. That's an absolutely should win game. They get Syracuse, NC State at home, and at a bad Virginia Tech team. So Miami, they should not lose another game in the regular season.
But that SMU game, technically they still have still undefeated in the regular season in the ACC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
But yeah, we'll see. Tough. That was a crazy. And that wasn't the only upset Friday night. Nebraska gets into the top 25 and then promptly loses to Minnesota. So
yeah, doing it. Oh,
I think as much as Matt Rule's name is being thrown around for that Penn State job, I don't know if Penn State fans want him, man, because you're kind of getting the same thing.
not, I mean, not even because until
Yeah,
this year, James Franklin won those type of games with no problem. He's a
that's true.
favorite.
Yeah, James Franklin.
Until
Yeah.
this weird collapse. I mean,
Mhm.
James Franklin did not lose the teams he wasn't supposed to lose to.
Yeah, not really. Like
Dude,
maybe the first season or two, because they were
yeah,
upset by someone. I remember that it was not a good loss, and I think it was in Happy Valley too, like Temple or somebody they lost to. And then they had that weird their COVID season. They started.
they
They
were
were like
terrible that COVID year, but
like
I mean,
one in
a lot of people,
5 or something. Yeah, it's
a
weird.
lot of people kind of throw that one out. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot
Yeah,
of people.
that was so weird for the Big Ten that you're only playing like 6-7 games or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
But
but yeah,
for the
you
majority of the
know,
time, Ben Franklin won the type of game with no problem. It was the big time games that he had the problem with.
yeah,
But, yeah, I mean, but that's that's a bad loss for Nebraska because I mean,
hmm
people are starting to think maybe this is their time. Not the toughest schedule. You go on the road, you're ranked, and then you get dominated. I mean, they
yeah.
did not rank at all.
Yeah,
Like,
it would have been one thing if this was like an overtime game and Minnesota just played their asses off because they're a solid team, same record now as
they're not.
Nebraska,
Not
5-2, but. PJ Fleck, a good coach. But yeah, you can't go in and get dominated like that. Um,
I
you
do
get
want to know
Northwest,
why did
yeah,
Minnesota rush the field. I don't know why they rushed the
uh,
field.
boredom. I don't know. Cold. Maybe it was cold and they just wanted to warm up. I don't know.
Maybe so, but I was
Uh,
like, come on, it's a
but
number
yeah,
25 country. Stop it.
the Nebraska schedule, yeah, and the other thing about that is now it's in your fans' heads that like, oh no, this is going to be like last year when we started 5-1, and then it took us until the last game, the regular second to last game of the season to clinch that bowl finally. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah,
s-
they
so
they
yeah, if I'm Nebraska, if I'm Matt Rule, if I'm a Nebraska fan, I want them to come out and absolutely pace Northwestern next week. I know Northwestern's look good. I know they're 3-1 in the Big Ten right now, but no, you got to come out and you got to blow them out and get that
absolutely.
6th win and get ready for USC coming in Lincoln.
Yeah,
Because that's your shot to win your big game and
yeah.
really prove something. And it's still not. Yeah, it's tough. probably knocks them out of contention to play in a Big Ten title game now, just because there are
Yeah.
too many people to skip in that ungodly big
Right.
conference.
But two losses. If they were to win the rest of their games and end up 10-2, it's gonna be hard to keep out a 10-2 Big Ten team. So I think you make the
Yeah,
play regardless because you're Big Ten. And honestly, at the end of the year, not maybe there's not gonna how things have gone this season. There may not be a lot of two-loss teams.
yeah,
Honestly,
exactly, man. This is just a crazy
there's a lot
season.
of
You
teams
never
on the
know.
brink that three or more losses. So yeah, but I
But
mean you're
yeah,
in a crazy season, I would say. But yeah, they definitely have to look good against Northwestern, and then well, against USC. I mean that's a marquee game just because his name USC always carries weight. I mean still a solid team. Then your back end. I mean you go to UCLA. Who knows there? I mean UCLA has turned things
looking
around a little bit.
sharp all of a sudden. Yeah.
I mean they've won three in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State, Michigan State, and beat Maryland yesterday. So I mean, so who knows? But I mean, you should win that one. Go to Happy Valley. I mean, that game has lost all of its luster. I mean, Penn State's lost four in a row now.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then of course the end of the season game against Iowa is usually as close to a rivalry as they have in the Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
But who knows how that one goes? But it is a home game, so
Yeah. But yeah, let's moving on. Back to Saturday's action. Another ranked matchup. Vanderbilt took down LSU. And it was a one touchdown score, but man, it was not that close.
it didn't feel like it. Yeah, it felt
Mm.
like a dominant win for the Commodores, who nothing seems like a fluke this year with them. Last
No,
year our win
no.
was kind of
Yeah.
how else cute. They got their win, and they got to a bowl game, but wasn't this team is far better than last year's team, top to bottom. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, after they beat us, yes, they went to a bowl game still, but they didn't really win a lot of other big time games. This is Man, they're on the brink to get back into the SEC championship game race with only one loss right now.
Mm-hmm.
But man, they're definitely in the playoff hunt. I mean,
Yeah.
they're a team that you could easily. I mean, they still have some games, but man, they're a good team. This is
Yeah.
not. This is the probably the well, definitely the best Vanderbilt team I've seen in my life. That we've all
Oh,
seen.
yeah. Without a doubt. Yeah. Uh, before this, we've seen, when James Franklin was there, a couple, that year with, the Jay Cutler era, uh,
Yeah.
they had some games. I remember us watching that one at the apartment in college in the swamp at Florida when they absolutely got hosed on that. It was like
Oh
a
man,
unsportsmanlike conduct flag after they scored the touchdown.
it's like come on.
Yeah, and I think they had to go for two or something. I don't know, it was weird, but
But they still have some interesting games coming up.
yeah,
Interesting.
they get Missouri
Missouri,
next week. Yeah.
that's an interesting one. Of course, Missouri Tech. I think they have Texas coming up after that,
Yeah,
so they still
in
have a
Austin.
schedule. And then,
Yeah, then of course in the season with at Tennessee and Knoxville, then Auburn and Kentucky in between at home, and it's funny to say that now, but you look at that and you go, yeah, Vanderbilt absolutely should win those games.
yep.
But yeah, let's focus on next week. And Missouri comes to town, a team that rebounded with a win. At least it wasn't the
That was
prettiest thing, but because there was definitely some Jordan Hare voodoo in the building last night.
I could not believe we missed that kick.
Man,
And then that
man,
overtime. I swear it went back through though. It did something weird at the top though, because it looked like it was off, and then it looked like it went back through.
and Eli Drinkwitz running on the field thinking it was good, only to be like, nah, nope, You missed it, Coach.
Yeah,
Uh,
good stuff.
it's weird, but Missouri pulled it out at the end, and uh, I guess Auburn looked a little better. I guess you could say that for the Tigers,
Yeah,
but
yeah, I don't there.
still chances to. Um, they had their chances to win too, and couldn't do it. And
No, cannot
you
do it.
wonder, yeah, now with all of these. I'll tell you what, though, that defense is good there, and they did make Perdue look really bad. I mean, God, that Missouri, that last drive at the end of regulation, they had a chance to win.
Yeah,
And that terrible sequence where he took a sack. They had the ball like right there at the 30-yard line, like right there, just needed a few more yards to get in solid field goal range. And he takes a sack, and then he has that backwards pass that goes out of bounds, so they lose another like 5 yards, and they get the false start. And all of a sudden, they're at like the 50.
yeah.
And you're like, what the hell, man? You guys had this. Like, I know it's never automatic with college kickers, but you were at the 30, you had time, and then just
Right.
a terrible sequence. And then they have to go to overtime, but like they survive, and
Yeah, that's all that matters.
exactly. That is
That's
all that
all.
matters at the end of the
But the
day.
crazy thing though, in these straight losses, and these losses for Auburn, the most what they've given up is 24 points to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So the defense has held up to their end of the bargain. The
Mm-hmm.
offense still terrible. And they've lost
Has not.
24
Yeah.
17, 16 10, 20 10, 23 17. So, I
Mm.
mean, those are all, if you have any sense of an offense, those are all games you should at least won three of them.
No. Yeah. No doubt. Particularly these last two at home. Particularly
Absolutely.
against your rival in Georgia, and then a beatable
And,
Missouri team.
yeah,
Who was vulnerable for the first time this year, and big win for them now. Big win for Missouri to get back on track and keep their playoff and hopes alive.
absolutely. No,
And Auburn, now at Arkansas, that it's a little trickier than it was a few weeks ago. Man, Arkansas they're losing another tough loss this time to
other
Texas
tough
A&M
loss,
this
man.
weekend. But
Yeah, they've had a decade's worth of tough losses in Texas A&M. It seems like that
right,
just seems like
the,
they always find a way to lose. But I mean, they came back. They got down big, came back, got down again, came back,
mhm.
covered the spread there. But man, that they just cannot beat A&M to save their lives.
No, yeah, a big fourth quarter there to did their best, but Marcel Reed and that A&M offense this time actually,
Yep,
picked up the
fine.
defensive slack, which is not
Yep,
what we were used to this year. But
yep. They definitely know the Aggies had to work for that one, but now sending what number three in the are they three in the country now? Officially in
number
the
3 in the
polls?
country, yeah, you're climbing up and up and up.
Highest thanks is the '94 team.
Hmm.
And that '94 team was a great team in Texas A&M. But, yeah, but they're looking good. Um, you know, and they're another team that's for all they have a great history, but they're a team that don't have that success level that you would
Yeah,
expect them to have.
yeah, we talked about them before. In the grand scheme of things, arguably
Yeah,
the most underachieving program with the
with it,
but
with it.
the tradition they have, the history, the support, the boosters they have, it's a program that should have not just a more national title, should have more conference titles. They should have, you know,
Because really, if you look at their history before the '80s, when yeah, I can't think of his name right now.
R.C.
He
Slocum,
before him was when they started coming on the scene. He went to Mississippi State afterwards. I can't think of his name.
Jackie Sherrill.
Jackie Sherrill. He put the Aggies
Yeah.
on the map, and R.C. Slocum took them to that next level. But before that, overall, they were a very pedestrian thing. Like the 80s, 90s, A&M came onto the scene strong. Going to
Hmm.
the Big 12 kind of set them back a little bit. I mean, they were never terrible, but they really were never good.
Yeah, they
They
only
never
had that one title, right, when they
a
upset Kansas
fluke,
State.
the kind of that fluke thing in like '98.
Yeah, yeah, the Sir Parker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But outside of that, I mean, they had an okay time in the Big 12, just not. I mean, it was OU's conference, Texas, a couple of times, and the Aggies were kind of always the 8-4, or when they played 11, they were 7-4, 6-5 type team. They never,
yeah, they every now and again bust up to like 9-3. It seemed like,
yeah,
and upset Texas at the end of the year on that Thanksgiving game. Were they? They were Thanksgiving Day, right? Yeah, they weren't the
yeah.
day after.
They used to
Yeah,
have it either the night of Thanksgiving or the Friday morning.
yeah, that's
So
right. Man,
yeah,
bringing those
never,
back. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they never got to that consistency in the Big 12. It really happened in the SEC either. I
Hmm.
mean, of course they came in. Of course they had Johnny's years, but they didn't even win a. They didn't even make an SEC championship game, and with Johnny Manziel. Then they kind of fell off. After that, of course, came back and went to the 2020.
Hmm.
It was either them or Notre Dame to get in the playoff, and the way we beat them, they didn't want to see them get in. I guess.
Yeah, that was tough. That team might have done something had they,
Close. That was a
gotten in the
pretty
playoff, or had a second shot at Alabama. I
right.
don't think anybody beats that 2020
No,
Alabama team.
no.
I
They're
put that
probably
up with, yeah, I put them up with any college football team I've ever seen for sure. 2019 LSU, 2015 Alabama.
that because that
Uh,
offense was ridiculous.
absolutely insane. Great line. Yeah, all the weapons. Yeah, any one of Mac Jones, Devontae Smith, or Najee Harris could have won the Heisman that year, and I'd been like, all right, fair. You know,
Right. Well, this is an amazing team. They'll never get the
but
credit just because it was that COVID season, but they would have
yeah,
did that regardless. I think.
yeah, no,
Um,
they would have.
yeah, but the Aggies, I mean, they're just very. They just don't have anything to go with their
Hmm.
bravado and their everything that goes with them. They definitely should have some more rings, titles of some sort, conference or nationally. So this is really their time. They're
This
still
is,
undefeated.
but it is a. They need to watch out. It's a season of upsets. We've seen it
Yes,
all year. We had another top 10 one yesterday as well. Arizona State took down Texas Tech, gave them their first loss of the year.
yeah,
Shake up that Big 12 race. Our favorite
that's it.
always.
Yeah, the big two. But then I hate when a team loses without those. And kudos. Say Arizona State won, but man, you hate when a team doesn't have a quarterback.
Yeah, yeah.
It takes away a
We.
little bit, but I mean, they still made it a game though at the end there. For a while, Arizona State was dominating. And then that fourth quarter, and Tech woke up. I thought maybe they were going to pull it off at the end there.
Yeah, they certainly almost did, and it drops them to 14th in the rankings, but at 3-1 in conference, they're still right there.
Absolutely.
But
All
that's
these
start.
one
It's
undefeated team in the conference now.
Yeah,
That's
two.
conference.
Two conference unbeaten's, but one, yeah, overall.
Yeah.
BYU's the only
BYU.
overall, but Cincinnati is also 4-0 in conference
That's
play.
undefeated. Wow. Yeah, that's right. The
Yeah,
Bearcats.
yeah, and then you got Arizona State, Texas Tech, and Houston, 3-1. Man, Houston. We knew
Great win,
that. Yeah, great win yesterday over
Arizona.
Arizona. That's right. I was like, who did they beat? We knew Willie Fritz was going to do good things there, but man, not this quickly.
No,
Um,
just fantastic. You love to
yeah.
see it.
And now, fittingly, next week they go to Tempe and take on the Sun Devils. So, huge game right there in the Big 12 race.
It was such a better team
Hmm.
with Sam Wentz.
Oh
He can,
man, And
Not,
how fitting was it? They put in Jeff Sims for that one run play,
well,
and he fumbles the damn ball.
no,
They get it back, luckily,
yeah.
but
He can't touch the field. Don't put him in.
that's what I said.
He's,
I literally looked at. I was watching that live and looked at my TV. I was like, "Why are you putting him in, man? Like, don't do that." Like, I guess they had
after,
to. Some
right.
Levitt
But
lose
after
his
last
helmet or
week,
something. Yeah.
no.
Don't
Call
put
the
the
timeout.
Yeah,
Whatever.
don't put the ball in his hands. Just tell him to
Oh,
hand it off up the middle. And, you do a QB run, the guy gets it. Oh man, if I were an Arizona State fan, yeah, I'd threw something right there.
yeah, that
Well,
was
yeah, let's see what else. Speaking of Big 12, BYU, we talked about them being unbeaten and won the Holy War.
yeah. It was a good.
Good win for them.
I didn't
Yeah,
get
they'll
it.
come.
That was pretty much during our game, so honestly, I didn't see very much of that one.
No, yeah, I just caught some highlights of it afterwards, but
Because there's a
the
lot of good
shame.
games when we were playing.
Yeah, it was tough, man. Which I kind of hate because like I would have watched I would have watched more of the Holy War. I probably would have watched a little more of Notre Dame USC.
Yeah.
I kind of
And then
flipped to that during commercials.
Arkansas A&M game, they had that
Hmm
3-hour rain delay, so technically it was going on when our game was going on too.
Yeah, crazy. Yeah. If you watch that footage from before hail and everything in Fayetteville, and then
Yeah,
delayed the game. But
big
let's
win
see
for the
elsewhere. Some other stuff yesterday. Texas, man, whew, surviving in Lexington. I know it's a tricky place to play, but man, this is not a good Kentucky team, and Texas should have
man. They
done better than that.
man, a really oh man. Then they got down to the 1 yard line in overtime, and they had the opportunity. If they get that touchdown, they win the game.
Hmm
Oh, but man, yeah, no, yeah, that Kentucky's, I don't know, they're so weird. I don't know, like what they, because that was like the Georgia game the year before. Like, how do they do this? Like,
Yeah,
how do they pull these weird things out? But yeah, Texas, coming off the big win there, looking like they're maybe bouncing back a little bit. Got the really good win against the Sooners, and then this, and now they're back to questioning everything at Texas again.
I know, man. That's that kind of season there in Austin. But
Yeah.
the most shocking game of the day, UAB taking down Memphis, winning the
Wow.
Bones.
Wow.
Did not see that coming because even though you figured they might play a little better after the firing of Trent Dilfer, that kind of new coach bump people get, you figure okay, they're not nearly as talented as
This is
Memphis.
a
Memphis
good
has been,
Memphis team.
and in Memphis is it's not like one of those mid majors, and we've seen even Memphis do this in the past where they're skirting by every week and they're unbeaten, but they are only winning by 3 and 4. They were
Man,
blowing teams out.
yeah, Memphis is
They've been putting up 50, and they
yeah,
looked pedestrian yesterday.
my goodness.
UAB, absolutely great game. Made a swap at quarterback. I think that helped.
Yeah.
But good win for them, man. Good win for the
Great
that
great
program, those
defense. I
players.
mean the
Yeah.
hold that Memphis offense and yeah, they just it's one of them games. Who knows what they do with the rest of their season? It might be one of those, honestly, it's probably gonna be one of those games at the end where we're in the season. How the hell did they ever do this? But
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Yeah. If it
they'll probably
would
get
not shock
glanced
me
maybe a
if
couple more times
yeah.
on, but for whatever it is, after a coach gets fired, sometimes they get crazy win. But
Yeah,
they
you get
pulled it
that
off, kudos to them, and hopefully they can build from that.
yeah, exactly. Good for them, good for their fans, good for their program.
Yeah,
Uh Well, and then after all the dust is settled, of course, there's some news today. Florida finally fired Billy Napier.
yeah. Got the win
Despite
yesterday, and yeah,
got the win, but it was a very
it was
ugly win
terrible.
over Mississippi State. Very kind of lucky. State was even driving to win that game, and Blake Shapen just didn't see. It was kind of a good defensive call, good defensive play with the big lineman dropped in coverage, and he just threw it right to him.
And it makes sense for the timing because they're going into a bye week, so it gives them a little bit of time to
Yeah,
readjust.
yeah, yeah.
But the
You
most
understand
up
the
and
timing,
down,
but man, tough,
the
tough
most
for
up and
State.
down, yeah, there was that 16 straight losses for State there in conference. You just hope, you just hope that they would. I thought maybe they were going to get that win yesterday. I was hoping that they were going to get that last drive because man, you just want to see the. I have no ill wills toward Mississippi State. I kind of like with it. I kind of like some of their stuff a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I like to see them be at least competitive in games, and they're right there on the verge of where they need to be, and just can't quite get over the hump there in the
Right?
SEC.
They're kind of like a little brother almost. It's kind of like
They're annoying.
they're annoying. Whenever they step up and think they're big and bad, you got to smack them down. Because I do love beating kind of a uppity Mississippi State team.
Yeah,
Like was it 2014 when they were number one? I was at that game when they
yeah,
came to
yeah.
Tuscaloosa and we shut them down. But yeah, I do. I'm the same way. I kind of like outside of that. I'm not necessarily rooting for them, but I kind of like to see them do well. I feel like I kind of pull for them in the Egg Bowl every year, like
Mhm.
subconsciously. But yeah, but back to Florida. Yeah, like you said, it's the bye week coming up. Perfect time to pull the trigger. For all the progress they made in the back half of last year is going out the window this season. They've
Yeah, I mean,
kind
really,
of yeah.
it probably coming sooner if they don't win that somehow pull that Texas game off. And,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it comes that week. Then they got blasted by A&M, had the struggle win here. So it makes sense when it happened. Of course, the bye week gives them time to readjust with whoever they place in for the interim period. But man, it's a lot of big name programs without a head coach right now.
Man, there are 9 openings
I mean, you have
in
Penn State,
in
you have
college football
Florida.
now. Yeah.
I mean, some big names, Virginia Tech's out there, and then we might have more because other than the buyout, which might be an issue right now, you would think Florida State's about to pull that trigger.
Man, yeah, we mentioned another loss to Stanford this time. Yeah, I actually have a little note in our outline. Also, I mentioned 9 coaches fired. Colorado State also fired Jay Norvell today. So that's 9 right now this season already. After only 5 last year. So
And last year was a weird one because no SEC coaches were fired at all last
yeah, it
year,
was
which
like no real big things last year. But yeah, I have a little thing for who's next because it feels like it's. I still don't know how Luke Fickle, how Wisconsin hasn't fired him yet. That team
you would think
looks
that's going to
just
open up.
hopeless.
They're
Yeah,
terrible. You would think
yeah.
that's opening up. You would think Auburn might be
I,
open.
that's exactly the next name I have. I
Florida
have
State.
Hugh Freeze next. Yep. Then I have Mike Norville next, and then I have Brian Kelly on that list too. Man, LSU fans are not happy right now. That offense
You going now? They
is
go to play
dragging.
A&M.
Yeah, yeah. And granted, it's in Baton Rouge, right? Uh,
Right.
but man, they do not look like a team that you do not look like that LSU
Offense
offense is
is so
gonna
bad. Why are they?
put up
Why is that
points on
offense
that
so
A&M
bad?
defense. Yeah,
Why is that offense so bad? I mean,
I
I've
don't know.
heard supposedly the Ness is hurt. He's been playing hurt all year. That's what some people have been saying. But my goodness, it's just horrible. They can't
Terrible.
score to save their lives.
Mm-mm. Absolutely cannot move the ball. Cannot score. It's
I don't know what it is, but man, that's going to be an interesting game. I mean, it's a primetime game. They need that win. They need that win bad because I mean
mm-hmm.
they're already on the verge of. I mean, 2 losses right now in the SEC, and yeah, you need a lot of help to get back in that race. A loss Saturday puts them pretty much out of playoff contention,
Mm-hmm.
and their schedule isn't the. I mean, the rest of their schedule, I mean, it's after that, of course, it's a bye week than us. Arkansas, just because that's always a tricky game. And then, of course, the end of the season with Oklahoma. So, I mean, man, they could end up bad at LSU by the end of it.
I'm about to say, yeah, that's why I have his name on this list, man. It could. It's just it looks like a marriage that's just not working. You're
Not,
just looking at it, yeah, and it's just like it's
and
not
you
clicking.
wonder why not.
Hmm.
I mean, because, I mean, honestly, he's the most serious. I mean, he's the first coach in a long time at LSU where you think he's a normal coach. I mean, they've had some weirdos. I mean, you
Hmm.
get. I mean, Les one. Maybe he doesn't get the credit he deserves because I don't know how he did it because he's a goof was a goofy as hell and he ate grass and all that shit. But Les Miles won games. I don't know how
Hmm.
sometimes, but that man won some games that you're like, how the hell did they pull this off? And he had a run there at LSU. He probably didn't get the appreciation he does because of that national title loss to us in
Hmm.
2011. But
Yeah,
that man won some games.
he did.
It didn't end well for him there. Some of the losses. But outside of Alabama, he had an Alabama problem towards the end. But outside of that, the West won games. Goofy as hell though. And then Ed O was, I
Edo
guess,
was the perfect coach for that program. It just
it was a sentimental hire in the fit. But overall, Goofy as hell. Probably should have
it
never been a
worked.
head coach. I mean,
No, but it
it worked
worked
for
at
a year.
LSU. Yeah, it worked for
Yeah,
just that couple of seasons, and then things went south because
yeah.
yeah, uh,
Just a
Coach O got a
different.
little crazy, but
Yeah,
yeah, it
but
worked, and it's that program, yeah, that like you said attracts those kind of just weird characters, man, and Brian
as far as
Kelly
coach
has his
wise,
quirks, but yeah,
I mean, he's the kind of the no nonsense coach speak type of guy. The but the thing with him is everybody. It was always his thing. Well, I can't win the big one because the restrictions. And this is as
mm-hmm.
far as we can get. And now he can't even do that. He can't even get to the big games.
I was about to say now is, I mean, yeah, it's looking rough when he
He
says
can't bring
that
the
he
talent
leaves.
level anymore.
Yeah, then Marcus Freeman takes the team to the title game last year,
Absolutely.
and he LSU is fans are kind of over it. Um,
Yeah, and then
but
yeah, I mean, if he loses the A&M and us, yeah, I don't see him making it because this was supposed
yeah,
to
it's
be a
gonna
big
be
year for
tough.
them. Gonna be a
Yeah,
big year, and it's gonna be a lot of openings. But
yeah, and then there's the ones that we don't know, because there's going to be chain effects. Somebody's like say, of course, the big name for the Florida job is Lane Kiffin. Say that actually happens, then all of a sudden Ole Miss is open up, and then they're going to
uh,
pull from somebody, and
yeah, that's crazy. You think, man, if I'm Lane, I'm not. And if I'm Lane Kiffin, and I get it, but I'm never leaving Ole Miss unless I get fired because we had 5 losing seasons or something. I'm not leaving on my own. It's no
no,
way,
yeah,
no. I'm a because I mean the money with NIL nowadays. All the tradition. I mean, there's still schools that have more prestige and they're gonna get certain things, but this is the best time for coaches to not move on necessarily ever.
hmm,
I mean, at no point does he have to leave Ole Miss to go to Florida? This is the first generation or decade where you could say that and it makes sense. Because who
yeah.
wouldn't want to jump from Ole Miss to Florida? But right now, it doesn't make sense.
I bet say
Why?
he's in a comfortable place. Ole Miss has they want to win, and there's expectations there, but they're not like
They're not going to
this
kill
is.
you.
Yeah, this is a program. If he goes 10-2, 9-3 every season, they're gonna
Makes
they're
the
gonna be fine
playoff.
with it.
If he
Yeah,
makes it,
makes
if
it.
he made a playoff twice a decade or even once a decade, they're through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, this is a program that they've had their years, had their good teams. I mean, certainly historically, they've had great teams. Way back in the day. But they never made an SEC title game. They never won the SEC West.
They've never done much of anything.
Yeah, but
They've been
proud
okay.
program. But
Huh?
yeah, he's coming in there. He's winning consistently. He's winning big games. Yeah, he lost this, but beat the hell out of Georgia last year. Last year, the problem was losing games he shouldn't have lost.
Right.
He's getting recruits in. I mean, they got a great transfer game. Like personally, he's funny as hell. Did you catch him? He called a timeout, and then he was joking with the refs afterwards. He said, and he looked, and they caught it on camera, and he says, "I was clapping," and the ref started dying. But
Yeah. Dude,
I mean, Lane is
his
funny.
what's name all week were hilarious. Like Lil Diggs and Kirby, like they said
Oh
something
yeah.
about how many calories or something, or who burns more calories. Look at Kirby's burning many calories there. Funny dude.
I
He's a
love him.
funny
Yeah,
dude.
he's great, man.
I mean, Lane is funny as hell. But man, I would not. I wouldn't touch that Florida job because really, I mean, they have the
It's a
history,
mess. Yeah.
but they're a toxic program. Like
Well,
if
and it's
you're
yeah. Go ahead.
that football, like they're toxic. They'll trade on you in a quick. The fans are really they're good fans, but I feel like they're very fair weather. They'll
Uh,
flip on you in a quickness.
it is a program that has never really recovered from losing. I mean, let's be honest, Steve Spurrier, when he decided to chase NFL glory, Ron Zook was the first coach, fireronzook.com. Remember
Yeah,
that? And
yeah.
God, could you imagine if, that was the age of Twitter and social media?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, they
But
were way ahead of that stuff.
yeah, exactly.
I
Leading
mean,
in
it
the.
did. The Urban Meyer had a run there, but yeah, it wasn't.
But yeah,
The sport
exactly. They got that
was good.
back. They won the titles with Urban Meyer, and then that ended kind of abruptly.
It was a
Um,
short run. It wasn't a long standing thing, and then they really haven't. They won a little bit. I mean, been to a couple SEC championship games, and but
they've
yeah,
been
they
on the
just
precipice, but yeah, no titles, no conference
no
titles, no
consistency.
playoff appearances. Yeah. Georgia's really taken over that rivalry.
Like
Um,
no one's scared to go into the swamp.
no, yeah, it
The
did,
scary
man.
place to go.
The swamp in the '90s,
It's not a
that
place
was
you go.
for all people talk about Death Valley now. No, that in the '90s it was the swamp that you
The
just
swamp was something serious. Like you did not
yeah.
want to go there because they were gonna hang 60 on your damn head with that funny gun offense.
Yeah. Steve was gonna run up the score on your ass. They're gonna whoop you. I mean, one of the biggest Alabama wins of my childhood was 1999. Sean Alexander
Oh,
and the
absolutely.
Tide go in there
Before
and
you got the
overtime win. Yeah, I
yeah,
vividly remember watching that game, and
amazing game.
at home back there, my mom's apartment.
Got the
Yeah,
extra kick at the
yeah,
end, right?
yeah. The extra point. Florida scores in overtime. Missed the extra point. Alabama respond. First play, 25-yard Sean Alexander run right behind.
Sean had an amazing game that day.
Man, big left tackle Chris Samuel.
Oh, Chris Samuels, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That Sean. Yes, Sean Alexander. Absolutely. That was. I
What a
After that game, I thought for sure I was like, he's going to win the Heisman this year, and then he got hurt against Tennessee, and Ron Dane ended up getting it as kind of like a career achievement,
yeah.
one of those Heisman's. But anyway, yeah, the swamp. It used to be absolutely fearsome place, and it has. And I guess that's the appeal of that job is at its peak. If you really get humming in there, Florida is a juggernaut program.
Good. If you don't, it's a
Yeah, exactly. They
you
turn
hate
on you
you.
fast, like you said. Yeah, so they didn't really had they were underachieving history. Bear Bryant famously called it a sleeping giant. If they ever
Hmm.
got their act together and got the right guy, and they did that in Spurrier, and you see what he did. Probably could have won more national titles if he had stayed.
Yeah.
And then, Urban Meyer comes in. Again,
But
they
I
get the
wonder if he
right,
ever
they get the,
regrets because that Washington run
oh,
was a. But then he came back and man, he had South Carolina rolling.
I'm about to say 3 straight 10-win seasons, only time in school history, right?
He's dominating Clemson for a while. I mean, he got
Yeah.
that program rolling.
Always have that 2010 win over us.
But man,
The,
he had things
the
going
Ste
there. But man,
But
if he
yeah,
had
no,
never,
that's an interesting sliding door moment. What if Steve Spurrier never leaves Florida? Does Urban Meyer ever come there? Or,
yeah, what?
yeah,
Yeah,
does
who knows?
Florida? Yeah,
Do they keep that dominance? I mean, I think they would, but
I mean,
man,
it's tough. It's interesting because say he stays, they don't fall off at that time because that probably also helped with the rise of Nick Saban. Coming to LSU, then Spurrier leaves. They're in different divisions at that time, but that opens up recruiting. That opens up, a hole for a program to step up. And man, could you imagine if we'd gotten Spurrier versus young Saban there?
mm,
That would have been
some
some
epic
big
game.
battles. But yeah, interesting thought experiment there. But we'll see.
'Cause he was man, he was trolling before social media was a thing.
Wow, man, he's great.
He was a king. He was a king troll, but he
Had that
backed it up 98% of the time.
can't spell
It's just
Citrus
a
Bowl
man.
without UT. That absolutely great quote where there was a fire on the Auburn campus, like a small fire, and he made
At
the
the
joke out of
library.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said, what he say is like there's a
I'm about the coloring
tragedy,
books.
yeah, like a loss at there was a fire at the Auburn Library. It was real tough on them. They lost, they lost all 6 coloring books or something like that.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
he
he
would
was.
always go with Bobby Bowden. Bobby hardly ever responded, because Bobby
Hmm.
was that type. But he would go tough at Bobby all the time.
Oh
Oh, it's
yeah.
so funny.
And the funny thing was, it was out of like respect too. He probably loved that guy, loved that stuff. I don't know if he liked Phil Fulmer. I don't think he did. But
I don't think he better like Phil Foreman.
that's true. Tennessee fans don't even like Phil Fulmer.
Yeah.
Uh,
No.
but
Yeah, no, I think that was personal. But yeah, the rest of them, yeah, I think he probably had a deeper respect for Bobby than he did. But yeah, it's just his personality. But yeah, but man, that Florida job, man, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that because man, man, if I'm Lane, I don't want it. But who knows where his mind is?
I was about to say, yeah, he's got it made in Oxford there, and he seems happy, his family seems happy, all that. But there's every coach has that kind of, and somewhere in their DNA that he realizes it's like an ego thing or a pride thing,
Mhm.
whatever. It's just like oh man, like if I could be the man to
Bring back-
revive
Yeah,
the Florida, and you see it in every sport. If I can be
yeah.
the man to revive the Lakers, the Knicks, if I can be the manager to bring a title back to the Bronx,
Yeah. It's just something, man.
yeah.
It just, I wouldn't do it, but I mean, I understand if he does. But man, that the biggest thing too, though, man, that's gonna hurt Ole Miss badly if he
If he
goes.
leaves, yeah, that's a tough
Because I
one.
mean,
You
they're
have
still in
to.
the NIL thing, but he's brought a certain excitement that really consistently hasn't been there ever. I mean,
Hmm.
like they're at a different level where you have. I mean, it was cute every now and again. Ole Miss would have a good season, a couple with Eli, and every now and again show up for games. But man, he's consistently winning games.
Hmm.
9, 10 wins. And just his personality and everything he brings, and kids like to go play for him.
Yeah,
It's
he
gonna be
seems
hard.
like, yeah,
He leaves.
great
It's gonna be
players
hard for the
coach. Yeah,
next guy.
it will. If this is obviously the biggest hire, the best hire in Ole Miss history. If he
Yeah.
does leave for whatever reason, that next hire is the most important in their history because they have to get it 100% right. They have to,
Yep.
it either has to be that like younger coach that will stay there a while, and build that program, like become the face of the program, or it has to be an already made guy who's
Need the
who
next.
can step right in and make that transition smooth.
Yeah. And we got some interesting names out there. Of course, James Franklin already wants to get back into coaching.
That is so,
Cigar.
yeah, those comments on game day, man, they're so interesting because now that adds this entirely new wrinkle to the coaching carousel.
Yeah, because it sounds like he wants to get right back into it.
Exactly. And tell you what,
Yeah.
that's maybe a place like Florida, that needs stability right now. Maybe that's a good place to go. Maybe if
I,
Lane does leave for Florida, maybe Ole Miss, that's probably a great guy to come in and keep things going.
so if I'm if now if I were him, I would maybe be thinking more mid, yeah, um, Ole Miss type of thing.
Yeah, like a step down from a top tier
Still a
program.
power conference, still a big thing where you can
Yeah.
make the playoff, but maybe not someone who expects a national title every year, has conference champion aspirations every year. Maybe even a look at maybe the Arkansas job. Something along those lines where it's big enough. Maybe even Oklahoma State because he's a
Hmm.
big enough. Maybe it brings some excitement to the program. Where it's a big enough name, but not big enough that it's to where you're back at Penn State with these crazy expectations and 10-2 is just not good enough. I don't know. So we'll see. Personally, I wouldn't want to touch that Florida job with a 10-foot pole, but somebody will because the everything in their past. The
Yeah,
history's been
it's the ego. Somebody will say like, "Man, I can do it. I can be the guy to get this program back to the top." And unless,
that's another
yeah,
thing why it's so important for right now for Mario Cristobal not to fall off because I mean he has coach opening in Florida. They're about to fire Norvell at some point in Florida State. If you can't completely take over the state right now and really, then it'll never happen. Like it
yeah,
becomes even bigger
like,
for him
oh
than it
man,
happens.
you're absolutely right, man. You mentioned the struggles that obviously in Gainesville, the upcoming probably firing in Tallahassee. You got programs like LSU that have fallen off a little bit that would recruit Florida well. Nick Saban is retired now, so he's not coming in and stealing some guys from
You
you.
gotta dominate.
Uh,
You have to win out. You have to make the playoffs. Like you have to make a run. Like you have to show, hey, that one loss to Louisville is not us. We're that team. We're
yeah,
the
you
they're
just
the
got to be
team.
like, hey, man, that's college football now. We're gonna
Yeah,
lose. Everybody's gonna lose one, but
yeah, but you got to bounce back. You got to win convincingly. You got to win the ACC and make the playoff because you have a lot of people down right now that that's your time. You got to show win the state. They've already won the state this year, but you got to go national. You have to make the playoff, make a run there, or something. Because if you don't do it now, eventually they're going to come back. And yeah, so
no, yeah.
now or never for Mario.
But it is absolutely crazy to think about this upcoming coach carousel and
Because it's interesting. Because I mean, what, but But there's a lot of coaches, a lot of good coaches are winning right now too, so they're not going anywhere. So where are they going to pull these coaches from? This is what I want to see.
well, and these jobs that are open too are so fascinating. I mean, we got Florida, Penn State, Oregon State, Arkansas, Oklahoma State,
Virginia Tech,
UCLA, Virginia Tech, Stanford.
a lot of people
Stanford
are fired.
because Frank Reich is
Usually,
basically just an interim. He's just there for this year.
so how they find
Uh,
somebody.
yeah, Colorado State, UAB.
Yeah, I mean
And
And then, a lot of Power Five openings, which is interesting already, and there's going to be more time programs.
Yeah. So
Be interesting. It'd be a
very fascinating. But yeah,
fun.
back to the on the field. Looking ahead to next week. Of course, we mentioned our Tide going to South Carolina. 2:30 game. Should be a win for the Tide, but can't slip up there. Number 2 Indiana, and we're not talking about basketball. It's crazy, just
No,
crazy. Yeah, they host that resurgent UCLA team. Georgia Tech, who survived at Duke this weekend.
good win.
Yeah, good win for them. They get Syracuse at home. Ole Miss at Oklahoma, big one for both of those teams right there. Must win. That's kind of like a SEC title game eliminator right there.
But, yeah, for sure.
How about South Florida? Big win this week. They now go to Memphis. We mentioned the Memphis, bad loss at UAB. Big upset, and doubly so because that was a conference loss too. So,
Yeah, not only the upset there, but yeah, the conference loss.
mhm,
And I'm sure they're probably looking ahead to this game.
yeah. So this is do or die for Memphis right now. This is their season in
Really,
terms of you.
both of their seasons, I guess, because I mean, because of um, two loss team out the mid majors is not going to make the playoff, and I haven't that. I mean, they don't have a bad loss, USF, for losing to Miami, but a second loss is pretty much going to eliminate them from that, I would think.
Well, yeah, except for there's going to be that one champion from the American, but you got to wonder, now James
Yeah,
Madison looking strong. I don't think there's, looking at some of the other conferences, James Madison 4-0, 6-1 on the year. Um, you
UNLV's
know,
undefeated, but it hasn't been pretty.
oh no, they lost to
They,
Boise yesterday.
they did
Yeah,
lose, didn't they? That's
yeah, and it wasn't pretty. Boise.
yeah. That
But
pretty
yeah,
much
Boise's even. They're 5-2 on the year, so there's it's a chance. It's gonna be. I don't think nobody from Conference USA is taking that
no.
spot. Um, so it's tough, and there's still a lot of competition now at the top. Though Navy's unbeaten in conference and Tulane's unbeaten in conference.
Right
So
there. Yeah. Tulane had
yeah,
a Tulane had to work for that win against Army yesterday, though.
it was tough, man.
Was
At
it too?
home too.
Um,
Um, but yeah, that's a
yeah,
big game next weekend in the mid majors. Mentioned Missouri going to Nashville to play Vanderbilt. That's where game day's going.
interesting. Is that where game day is going?
That is, yeah, game days now. That's where they're going.
Weird. That's such a
15
weird.
Missouri at number
That's
10 Vanderbilt.
so weird.
BYU tricky road game at Iowa State going to Ames. That's always tricky.
I
Texas
wonder if
Tech tries.
Memphis.
Yeah.
Sorry,
What-
Memphis had won yesterday. I wonder if game day may have went to that. Memphis
That's a
South.
good thought. I do wonder. Yeah, with unbeaten Memphis, 6-1 South Florida. I don't know. It's would have been a tough call. Yeah, you do wonder. Let's see. Texas Tech gets a rebound. They get Oklahoma State at home. Texas goes to Mississippi State. I think that is one to keep an eye on there because we mentioned
Who
State being
knows?
so close to getting that conference win,
Who
and
knows?
Texas fell back after looking good in the Red River. Came back down, struggled again, and Davis Wade and Starkville's going to be hopping. So
They're gonna be ready for it.
um,
SEC Network, 3 o'clock. Who knows?
this next one at 6 o'clock, considering what Ohio State did to them this weekend, considering what Oregon did to Rutgers, Jesus Christ.
Goodness.
Wisconsin at Oregon. I've, I just don't know how much longer Luke Fickle can survive.
34.5 point line. Man,
Jesus, like that's crazy to think.
at no
Um,
point, at
mm-mm,
no point should a Power Four conference game be a 30 point spread. At no
mm-hmm.
point,
No,
and that
yeah,
might be low. That might be low. It
it
feels
might
like
be.
if Oregon wanted to put on the points, they could, but
It's
it might be nice.
scary. It's scary thought. You got A&M at LSU,
Very
Michigan
interesting.
State. Yeah, that's A&M LSU. I'm fascinated to see how that LSU offense, if they can do anything against the A&M defense, and it being in Baton Rouge. If there's some more struggles, man, are we gonna hear the boo birds come
Wait,
out? Or they,
wait,
yeah,
in Baton Rouge. Yeah, that's gonna be
mm-hmm.
man. Yeah, but prime time game there. Michigan State.
Mm-hmm.
Still a rivalry, but man, Michigan State just they're just not
Nah,
good.
they're yeah, yeah. Michigan should run all over them, control that game.
Yeah.
Houston at Arizona, man, a real good 7 o'clock game. In the Big 12, we mentioned that crazy Big 12 race. That should, shape some things in it. But
Yeah, Arizona State, Houston. I mean, man, the Cougars already beat the Wildcats. Why not go out and beat the Sun Devils
the
as
Sun
well?
Devils, yeah,
Right, the state. And then what do we get? What's the late game on Sunday? Is it Utah,
uh,
Colorado?
Colorado at Utah, yeah.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, Colorado. I think they were off this week, so bye week, and they came off that win
Big win
their last
over
time out.
big win over Iowa State.
Hmm.
And you
Yeah,
see how Utah bounces back.
Caden Salter looked really good. Kind of took control of that position. They kind of swapped guys earlier in the year, so we'll see if Dion maybe they come out on fire and see how Utah responds to losing Holy War, because now they're at 2 conference losses. They're backed against the wall
Mm-hmm.
themselves. But yeah, a good schedule next week. Let's move on to the NFL, man. Crazy day in the league. Man, your Cowboys just crushing Washington.
Wow.
Jaden
Great
Daniels goes out
offense.
injured again.
Yeah, but the defense answered the bell, which is the first time
Hmm.
in the all season they've done that.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah.
a plethora of injuries for the Commanders, though. I mean, Jaden Daniels, they're
Hmm.
out again. Their wide receiver room is depleted there, so I mean, could be a tough, tough go for the Commanders. But
Yeah. Speaking of tough goes, man, Tua bench today after 3 picks, and Dolphins get their ass whooped by the Browns, and that's got to
dude,
be your favorite for next NFL coach fired, Mike McDaniel.
absolutely,
Tough to
I
see
mean,
him surviving much longer as well.
yeah, because they're losing again. They're not losing. They're losing badly. This is
Yeah. Yeah.
things are good.
Chiefs 31-0 over the Raiders. Get Rashee Rice back. He gets a couple touchdowns. The Chiefs are starting to look like the Chiefs again, and
Yeah,
that's scary. Eagles rediscovered their passing game today, man. Jalen on point. Devontae Smith, man, what a game.
huge game.
Huge game for him.
Yeah, the
That Giants and Broncos game.
why
Broncos down 19-0 heading into the fourth quarter, drop 33 in the fourth, win 33-32 because Denver
missed the extra
kicker
point
missed the extra point.
because the Giants
Or Giants kicker missed the extra point, sorry.
crazy though. Because I mean, once Denver got the lead, you think it's dead. And then they lead
Jackson
the
Dart, yeah.
Jacksonville leads them right down the field, scores a touchdown. You think, well, damn. And in the midst of the extra point, that situation is just, oh my goodness.
Yeah,
The field goal,
absolutely.
extra point.
Insane. Insane game.
That
Uh,
man,
the
yeah.
Colts are 6-1, beat the hell out the Chargers. despite 420 passing yards from Justin Herbert. Of course, a lot of that was because they had to. Uh,
Yeah.
Packers close one over the Cardinals, but they improved to 4-1-1. Niners big Sunday night win over the Falcons.
Mac Jones again.
Yeah, another
Another
win.
win.
Yeah, not a big statistical game from him, but a win
Oh man, it's a win.
nonetheless. Yeah, and
Hey,
then but
another opportunity.
tomorrow night, Monday night, another doubleheader. You got pretty couple good ones: Bucks at Lions and Texans at Seahawks.
Interesting.
But we cannot talk NFL without talking about Thursday night game this week. The battle of the old heads, Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco. Flacco outduels Rodgers. Those are 342, 3 touchdowns. Insane game.
It was a wild game.
Insane. Just
Typical Thursday night game. One that
40.
you're like, this is gonna be
Yeah,
terrible.
he had 47 pass attempts. 23 of those were towards Jamar Chase. 23 targets. Chase caught 16 of them for 161 and a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's it's some people made jokes about them making that trade, but man, I kind of said it. I was like, man, that line is terrible, and if he has to, if he gets pressured, Joe Flacco's not, he's getting sacked, and these days. But man, if he gets time to throw that deep ball of his, that ball to the sideline of his,
He got the talent, of course, is there. The receivers are there. I mean, they have. I mean, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Noah Fant's a hell of a tight end. I mean, the hands are
Chase
there.
Brown, good running back, yeah, man.
You just gotta, yeah. They just have to be able to give them the time. Yeah. So good, great win for the Bengals there. And
And
Steelers still overall good, but man,
man, they are, but that all of a sudden, that AFC North does not look like a sure thing. Like all of a sudden, with the Ravens, they where they were, and the Browns being the Browns, it kind of looked like, oh man, the Steelers might run away with this, and now, oh wait,
they're 4-2.
Cincinnati looks frisky. Maybe Joe Flacco can keep the ship afloat until Burrow gets back, and you look at the Ravens' schedule. Not to give my Ravens mean too much optimism, but coming out of the bye, the schedule sets up for them to make a little run, and
If
the
Lamar's
Steelers.
healthy,
Yeah, if Lamar's healthy and that defense takes, during this bye week, figures some shit out, all of a sudden, it's like the reverse of the Steelers because the Steelers' schedule starts getting tougher now. This was the first of, I think, 5 more, conference games. They play the Packers, the Colts, at the Chargers. They still got the Bills, Lions on their schedule. They have another Bengals game. They have 2 against the Ravens. And
yes.
meanwhile, the Ravens, their next 6, Bears, Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, and then Bengals. And before they play the Steelers,
So they should win all.
they should, I mean, they could and should probably win the first 5 of that going into Cincinnati.
Yeah,
Or actually, that game's in Baltimore, too. So that,
yeah.
and then they get Pittsburgh at home, and then they got a tough closing stretch, at Bengals, home for Patriots, at Packers and Steelers.
But at that point, if they win all those games, I mean, and they're right back in the hunt.
Yeah,
Conference comes through. Who knows? Yeah.
We'll see. But yeah, man, NFL just kind of like college this year. It's just wild. No idea who's going to win.
Every week is something different. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Every week is something different. Major League Baseball playoffs. Dodgers sweep Milwaukee. They're back in the World Series. Shohei Ohtani, 3 home run
Man,
game. Just
I mean, 3 home runs, pitched 6 innings, 10 Ks. I mean, that was damn. We'll never
insane.
see that again.
No. Yeah.
I mean, that's just wild. I mean, 3 homers in itself would have been an epic enough, but oh yeah, he also pitched 6 innings with 10 Ks same
Mm-hmm.
day. I mean, if he did that different days in the same series, That's still amazing. But he did it in the same damn game. Just amazing. I mean, what what he does, I mean, he's just there's levels to it, and he's just on a whole like it's just I don't know, it's just wild.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah,
Man,
it's
it's amazing.
truly insane. And over in the AL, wild series between Seattle and Toronto, and Toronto gets the win tonight, and we're going Game 7.
Game seven.
Should be a great man. It's a crazy series. Seattle takes the first two on the road in
You
Toronto.
would not expect that after they had that crazy 15 inning and
Mm-hmm.
then going on the road, flying all the way to Toronto. And you would have
Mm-hmm.
thought, that they would have gone. Then, they win there. And then you would think, man, well, obviously Toronto's in trouble going to Seattle. No problem.
Yeah, Toronto turns around, takes the first two in Seattle. Seattle comes back, gets Game 5, and then Toronto took Game 6 back home tonight. So Game 7 coming up in Toronto.
Huh.
If you like playoff baseball, man, that'll be
That'll be
a
that.
must watch.
That's gonna be a fun one
Hmm.
all night.
Other than that, that is it for my notes this week. Trying to think any stories or anything we might have missed.
I do have one.
Okay,
Damn,
go ahead.
the D3. I know it's D3.
Oh, yeah.
That running back ran for 500 and some yards on 20 carries.
Absolutely. I think it was 522. I think is the number.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, that
just
is video game
I
stats.
don't care
That is
where it's
some.
at. It doesn't matter where it's at.
Yeah.
That's wild.
That is that
Absolutely,
is that is EA Sports college football on easy mode.
dude.
Mm.
How does that even happen in college football at any level?
Yeah.
Just wild
Um,
stat line there. Other thing
Someone.
too is the Doug Martin, the running back from Boise State,
Mm-hmm.
and he died today. I don't know what happened there. I just saw that and was like, wow, still
Yeah,
young as hell.
36. Yeah, 36. Yeah, a legend at Boise State.
Legend of Boise State,
And,
some solid years in Tampa.
and all pro in Tampa. Yeah.
Yeah,
A great
yeah,
nickname, the Muscle Hamster. Um,
yeah,
yeah, a short but strong guy. Yeah, just kind of an old school. Just love to hit people, running backs.
right,
But yeah, so thoughts with that family.
absolutely.
But yeah, other than that,
That's
NBA season creeping up on
starts
us.
starts this week.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy enough. Now my Mavs have of course, a big rivalry game with the Spurs, but it's such a long season. Like I mean, of course I'll look at it, but man, it's hard to get into the NBA this early.
It is, right? Yeah, like as much as, we love it, love the league, love watching it. It's hard until football season. At least even I can start paying attention a little. Christmas Day. It's like when I really okay, like I'll sit down watch some basketball games. There's
I
less
think the
football
NFL
every
started
week.
taking that over.
Yeah, yeah, right,
uh,
man. But
but
we've said it before in this podcast, and I think it'd be great. That year
they
that
start
after
on
the
Christmas.
bubble, yeah, when
Yeah,
they moved the season back a little bit, I think they should start the season on Christmas Day every year.
so
Throw a middle finger to the NFL. Just play all your teams on Christmas Day. Have an extravaganza. But and then then you can go into the summer and you get that lame spot with where only baseball is. You can
yeah,
bump the NBA finals, bump the schedule back to like your NBA finals are
absolutely.
ending like right before football
Yep.
starts.
I mean, there's things they could do. I mean, yeah. I mean, I would try to not go up against the NFL as much as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, no matter what, the NFL is going to kick everybody's ass. That's just where we're at in sports. So if you can stay away from the NFL, more power to you. But yeah, I don't know if they'll ever do that. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense. But yeah, I mean, the season does start this week. You know, Alabama had a preseason game. I watched it caught the second half there on YouTube. Was that Wednesday night?
Yeah,
Or
balling at Boutwell. Yeah.
yeah, entertaining game with Florida State there. Alabama, they were running and gunning.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't know how much you take away from that. Of course, our first big test of the season. We have that big day on November, that LSU game. We also play St. John's that night in Madison Square Garden. So
Mm-hmm.
thanks to Alabama fans on that first
Man,
Saturday.
is this the first time we've been in the Garden since that Colin Sexton 3-on-5 game?
I think
Was
so.
that was that at the Garden? That was at the Garden, right? Yeah.
And that was a while. He almost won that himself.
Insane, man. That dude, I will forever be a Colin Sexton fan, man. I always root for him to go somewhere successful in the NBA and get some serious playing time and recognition. But
Right.
young bull, but yeah, season starts for the Tide on November 3rd with North Dakota. Before that game at St. John's and the Garden. But yeah, that's a brutal schedule to start out, man. St. John's in the Garden, Purdue in Illinois, and then Gonzaga.
Yeah. I mean, and we have a lot of new faces.
Hmm. But there's
But
some, optimism around the program. Nate Oates
I think it's a
saying,
time.
saying in one interview he thinks that Aiden Holloway is going to make a huge leap in his game.
He looked good on Wednesday. I thought he looked good the second half. And honestly, I think Mark Sears not being there really elevates his game.
Hmm. I can see that. Yeah.
Just because, I mean, I think he's more of the fast pace. I mean, uh, he's going to drive or he's going to kick it. And then when his three's going, Aiden Holloway's ahead. So, of
Yeah.
course, expectations aren't really as of course, not last year's expectations there. We lost a lot, but I think this team sneakily is going to be a very good team.
Hmm.
Of course, you know what we yet to see how Noah Williamson fits into everything. We're gonna need him on the defense because he's supposed to. We need a rim protector. Um,
Hmm.
but I think this team should be good. And of course, what's the name coming back from his Achilles? I can't think of his name right
Oh,
now.
Reitzel?
Yep, yep,
Yeah.
Joe Reitzel. And then, yeah, I think this team could be sneakily good there. And by
Mhm.
the time the tournament comes around, I think we can make another run there. But yeah, that another brutal November, but December. But that's what makes for this team to eventually turn into a winning. Is you get those
No.
big games, learn
Yeah.
a lot, hopefully
Iron
win a
sharp.
few.
Yeah. Iron sharpens iron.
Yep,
Uh,
absolutely.
but yeah, no, yeah, like you said, NBA season kicks off Tuesday. You got Houston, OKC, Golden State, and the Lakers. And the rest of the league, Wednesday. You mentioned your Mavs hosting the Spurs,
Spurs.
my Pelicans at Memphis. There's a low key optimism around the Pelicans right now. Zion looking in the best shape, Um,
Man, you guys, you guys just got to stay
yeah,
at
just got to stay
least
healthy.
any,
Kevon
any
Looney's
kind of
going to be out for a little
time.
bit.
Yeah.
Derek Queen, the rookie's battling some injuries, but man,
Already.
there's a lot of hope that Trey Murphy's going to make a huge leap. They'll get back Murray at some point. You got guys like off the bench, Jordan Hawkins. Of course, Herb Jones is back this year after injury last year too. there's definitely the talent is there. It's just you're in the West, such a tough West, but it looks like your starting five opening night's going to be Jordan Poole, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, Zion Williamson, and Yves Missy. The surprise center from last year. So, with guys, Jeremiah Fears coming off the bench, Jordan Hawkins, Sadiq Bey, which I thought was a good offseason pickup.
Yep.
Jose Alvarado, of course. And then, like I said, eventually you get Kayvon Looney back from his injury, Derek Queen,
Yeah.
and then down the line, DeJounte Murray. So,
Yeah. I mean, and if y'all could keep 50%, if your health level go 50% this year, yeah, y'all might be
mm-hmm,
okay. I mean, because at least be in that hunt for the 7 to 8 to make
mm-hmm.
that playoff push. And that's the
And
thing
this,
my Mavs too. If we can stay healthy, I think it could be a good season for the Mavs. But so our thing was health last year.
mm,
Eventually, we'll see what we do. And then of course on that East is I think gonna be interesting because I think it's wide open.
no, yeah, it is. Yeah, you kind of know in the West, OKC again, of course, they're great. Denver, I think,
I
is
think
going to
in
have a
the
great
West we
year.
know the players, we just don't know the the
Which
order.
ones? Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't
Yeah.
know the order. The East, I think, is wide open. Of course, the Pacers without Halliburton. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that just was everything. They made their trade. I mean, they lost guys. The Knicks, new coach. I mean, they're who knows what they're doing. So I mean, the Bucks. Who knows? I mean, it's just a bunch of who knows there, and of course, the Celtics. So what? I mean,
Yeah,
is
no Jason Tatum.
yeah.
No, it should be a fun season, but like we said, we probably won't know until about Christmas time.
About Christmas time, when things are picking up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because when you got an 82 game schedule, man, there's so much that can happen there.
Mm-hmm.
So much that can happen. But biggest thing there, yep, you just have to keep yourself in contention there because these playoffs. You look at. It, I mean, a lot of. I mean, you look at the Pacers run last year. No one expected that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it just shows you, man. You get right spot, you get hot at the right time, and man, they're going. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's got a great time of year. I mean, we get a game 7. We're in the heart of the college football season, the NFL season rolling. Started the
Mm-hmm.
NBA. If you're an NHL fan, then we're gonna get into the World Series. I mean, everything's going at once. I mean, so much to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful time of the year for a sports fan of all types. So
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, that's everything I got. I think that's everything you got. As always, folks, thanks for listening.
absolutely,
Subscribe, rate us, like us, do all that good stuff on whatever platform you listen to us on. Tell your friends about us. Tell your rich friends about us. If you want to throw us a sponsorship, holler at us. Follow us on all the socials at Taking on Sports. Check out the AlabamaTake.com. All the Alabama Take family of podcasts there. The writings. You can see us. Our picks column, of course, every Friday night or every Friday gets posted. Actually, not sure.
I think it was about 5 or 6 Friday evening.
Uh,
I think I went 2-2 this week, which is
I was
a
about to say,
it's
I'm
been a
trying to
tough.
think. Yeah, it's been tough here. Trying to think. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, you were 2-2 because you had the Commanders today. Blaine, me, and Mal all went 1-2 yesterday. Blaine had the Rams -3 today, so we got that. I had the Packers -6.5. I actually don't know what the score of that game was. I don't think they covered that. Let's see. Packers. Where are you at on the score? No, only 4 of the Cardinals. Damn, I went 1-3 this week. Rough. And Mao had Patriots -7 today. I think that hit, right? Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah. 31-13
Yep.
over the Titans. So, yeah.
Yep.
So she got back to 2-2 as well. So it goes. Like I said, folks, thanks for listening. Bama fans, hope you enjoyed that cigar.
Yeah.
24-hour roll time, though. Let's look to Columbia now.
Absolutely.
Keep it done up real good yourselves out there, folks. Remember our new schedule, of course. So next week we will be recording Monday, so the show will come out Tuesday. Unless we tell you otherwise.
May have a few more coaching announcements. Who knows?
I was about to say, who knows? There should be 3 more coaches fired by then, at least in the combined in the
After next
college
weekend.
and NFL. Yeah. So yeah, I would be very shocked if Mike McDaniel honestly isn't fired. Maybe by the time this episode actually posts.
When is their bye week? Maybe are they waiting for that or?
I honestly think it might be next week.
Oh, okay. Let's see. So we
it's-
go to week 8.
They are not a bye. They play
The Falcons
at the Falcons next week, which tough pass defense.
Yeah, and you guys play them the next Thursday night. So I don't. Yeah. So they don't have any bye weeks looming. However, and I would just pull that tomorrow morning.
Yeah, it's a terrible game from Tua today. Benched, that.
About 7 a.m. or 8 tomorrow morning, I expect to hear the dee 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 offensive foul.
Yeah,
because that whole thing is coming down. I mean, obviously, I think Tua is going to be done there in Miami. Be interesting what they do with their quarterback situation. But yeah, that thing is falling off hard and ugly.
Yeah. We shall see.
Yep.
As always, ESPN, get your shit together. Add YouTube TV.
Yeah.
I think that's all our usual weekly ask and all that. But like I said, keep it done up real good yourselves out there, folks. Greg, buddy. See you next week.
Yes, sir.